So this particular batch was just packaged yesterday on St. Patrick's Day right here in South Boston. It's a fun day to be working for a brewery. So if you guys will join me, we'll go through a little tasting of the beer. So, tasting beer. First thing we're going to do is check out the appearance. Is it dark? Is it cloudy? Is it clear? This beer is very dark because it's stout, but it is not completely opaque. You actually do get a little bit of light through the beer itself, kind of a ruby-esque hue that you get. But it is a very, very dark beer. The head on it is nice and thick, has a nice kind of espresso color to it. Next, check out aroma. So, smell, it's going to be really roasty. You get very round, roasty, kind of toffee, coffee kind of aromas to it from all the roasted malted barley we use. There's also a little subtle sweetness and minerality as well. And a very, very slight nose of brine. This is a beer that we didn't want to taste like oysters, but you know they're in there. We employed oysters in the brewing of this beer, but we didn't want to make it an overpowering kind of seafood shake. So there's a very, very subtle note of a little brininess or a little salinity that you'll pick up, but I think if you didn't know it was oysters, you'd be really hard pressed to say there's oysters in that beer. So just a little bit of that minerality. So next, taste and mouthfeel. Really rich. It's really full. Carbonation is really good. It's get a little bit of a biscuity flavor from. We use a lot of Belgian biscuit malt in the making of this beer, so you get that kind of roundness to it. And it also has on the finish. It has a very nice, very subtle hop bitterness, but it doesn't mask how malty this beer is. The malt is the real star of this actual beer. The finish is nice and sharp, and it gives you with a little bit of a briny finish, a little bit of a salinity in the back of your throat that does taste like oysters. But when you have this beer alongside a plate of freshly shucked oysters, it really bumps up the oyster component of the actual beer. You know, oysters themselves don't taste like anything in particular, like a clam tastes like a clam. Oysters take on the characteristics of wherever they're grown. It's a term that the Island Creek guys use as merroir, like the aquatic version of terroir for wine. So oysters themselves will taste like the water, the sea air, the sand, the grass. There's everything that's in that area. Is it a freshwater estuary? Is it only facing the ocean? These are things that are going to affect the way that an oyster actually tastes. And of course, the oysters that we harvested from Duxbury Bay for this beer in the cold weather months, so it's perfect time for them. It's some of the best time for eating oysters is in cold weather months. So you do get that little bit of a salinity, oceany kind of finish to it, but it's very subtle until you have it with a plate of oysters, and then you really enjoy it. Okay, I'm gonna drink that one now. So, everyone, thank you. I hope you enjoyed this beer as much as we enjoyed making it and drinking it. Cheers.